Let's talk about this huge blizzard over the weekend in parts of the Northeast, Washington, D.C., New York City. Record snowfall. We were mostly spared here in Boston. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Lewis? 4 inches or something like that?
I was thinking 3. It really was not much.
Well, right wingers love to point to these events, like when there's snow in the winter, to suggest that these disprove or somehow conflict with climate change and global warming hypotheses. And this is not true. Michael Mann, who we've had on the show, he was on recently, actually. He's the director of Penn State's Earth Systems Science Center. He indicated that peer-reviewed science predicts that climate change will lead to more intense blizzard-producing nor'easters for the exact reason that this storm over the weekend was so big, which is that the Atlantic Ocean surface temperatures are higher. And when you have higher ocean surface temperatures, it serves almost, to use a very crude analogy, as more fuel for really big and erratic weather events. The bottom line is, critics like to say that massive winter storms are evidence against so-called global warming, but any serious climate change hypothesis, Lewis, would account for continual new records of both cold and hot and an increased number of these record-breaking weather events.
Yeah, I think it will be more erratic. I think we're going to see more of this. I'm not a scientist, but I believe the scientists, and that's the whole point.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. So, unfortunately, we have two people that are deniers. We have the people that are maybe aware that this is happening, but protecting big business.
Sure.
And then you have the people that have actually been convinced that this is some liberal hoax.
Right.
I suppose both are equally dangerous.
Kevin Trenberth is the former head of the climate analysis section at the National Center for Atmospheric Research, and he explained that basically what we see here is these superstorms sweep in more water vapor as a result of what he believes to be human-caused climate change and warming of the ocean temperature. And that serves, as I mentioned, as fuel for these really big storms. And we've seen, even before this latest superstorm, a sort of long-term pattern of more extreme precipitation, more in the Northeast, particularly during the winter. And climate scientists have long predicted that this was going to be exactly what we saw. I don't know at this point, Lewis, what it is that can be said to the deniers. This is all backed by science. When it is cold enough to snow, snowstorms will be fueled by more water vapor and thus become more intense. And still, you get Fox News saying, despite it being bitterly cold in the northern plains in December, Congress keeps talking about global warming. They're not going to believe it no matter what the science says, are they?
No, because unfortunately, Fox News also has on scientists, ones that are paid to, conduct studies that show the opposite of what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So it's tricky.
And the Dunning-Kruger effect is a big factor here. The Dunning-Kruger effect is this phenomena where someone doesn't have the cognitive capacity to realize why their reasoning or understanding of something is wrong. They say, oh, global warming, but it's cold and snowy. That's not warming. Well, they don't get why it follows logically based on our understanding of climate change's impact on our planet, why climate change hypotheses would actually predict and suggest exactly the extreme weather events that we've been seeing. Dunning-Kruger effect is tough to overcome. The online news world is getting pretty cluttered with lots of nonsense. There's the so-called news sites that just rewrite news articles, and then there's the websites we all know that we just can't trust. Lately, I've been reading Smash Pipe, which is an online magazine that does original alternative news and satirical news with an unapologetic perspective and a roving moral center. Smash Pipe is less interested in trending topics than in what's actually going on, and Smash Pipe has no ads whatsoever other than reader-generated classified ads, and they never will. Smash Pipe is what happens when you, on a bad day, stub your toe on the miseries and mysteries of life. Check it out at smashpipe.com.